This is the Analysis in Change with Nathan Williams and Neil Kieran.
Welcome, everybody, to Analysis in Chains. Neil, how's the family?
All's good. All's good. Still waiting for crypto to moon so I can buy them all new clothes.
When Lambo, when Moon.
Yeah, it's funny. We don't hear about those phrases anymore. It was probably the most popular phrase at the end of 2017, beginning of 2018. But I think people are afraid to say that now.
So 2017, Neil. So 2017. I don't know. I'm still surprised that Lamborghini didn't come out with a Lambo coin.
Oh yeah, you could be onto something there. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere down the line in 10 years' time, that will actually happen. There will be some sort of like Tesla ICO. Well, you never know with Elon Musk. He's kind of gone off the rails lately. I'm kind of waiting for him to announce a Tesla ICO. But
The Tesla ICO?
yeah, but there could be something, I'm sure, like that coming in the future.
Well, we've talked a lot about big companies getting into the crypto market, but I understand that there's actually been some movement in that direction, hasn't there?
Yeah. So this story caught my eye during the week, and it's very, very interesting. So universities in general, like, have a lot of employees, have very big name fund managers, except to manage retirement funds, and the like, and all the various capital that goes through universities. The second biggest fund for university in USA is Yale, and they announced that they're going to invest 400 million into a crypto fund. This crypto fund is a part of the Andreessen Horowitz crypto fund. Andreessen Horowitz, the guys who helped fund Facebook in the early days and were part of Netscape. And these guys have various projects like Blockstack browser. And so this is, again, another reason to be bullish about crypto in general. They're going to be investing in various projects, but also these funds tend to hold cryptocurrencies as well at the same time, obviously to hedge going forward. But when you look at the crypto market, there's been all these positive news lately and nothing's happening. It seems to be on this
It's like a
continuous
400
trend.
million, Neil. That's
Yeah,
like,
it's huge.
like 400 million dumped into the market, you expect like a giant spike all of a sudden.
Exactly, but this is kind of like contrary to what was happening end of 2017, where there was bad news coming in, but crypto was just going up. And it kind of goes to show how the negative sentiment around crypto is still quite strong when really good bullish news is there, but it's not really moving the price. In a way, I'm no financial advisor. This is when I see a reason to buy, because I'm thinking, okay, well, all of these great things are happening. We mentioned them the last time we met, and yet the price isn't moving. And for me, this suggests there's a lot of great fundamental work happening in the background. We talked about Asia. Asia, still going like gangbusters. We don't hear much about it over here in the West, but it goes to show that the West is also very active in terms of funding. But it's very hard to find the news and stuff like this. And
Well,
I do feel, sorry, just to finish up, I do feel that people are just too obsessed with ETF news and Bitcoin being the catalyst for price to go up, whereas there's all of these amazing projects happening, and they themselves will actually make the prices go up.
what really strikes me isn't even that, okay, there's a lot of good news, so the price should go up. It's that Yale coming along and putting 400 million into cryptocurrency and blockchain investments should nudge that price like immediately. Like just Bitcoin isn't liquid enough to not be affected by millions of dollars being dumped into the market all at once. And what it really comes down to, I mean, it would be what we talked about last week, I guess, that big companies don't buy from Coinbase; they buy OTC.
Yeah,
And
well, yeah,
more and
I
more,
totally agree.
yeah, more and more, I wonder, what does this mean for the true price of Bitcoin? When we look at the price of Bitcoin, if big companies are dumping in piles of money OTC for things like virgin Bitcoins that are fresh mined so they know there's no hint of money laundering on them, what does this mean for how we calculate the price of Bitcoin? Is there a definitive source of a price?
Yeah, we're seeing two worlds develop. And we talked about this in the past in terms of the institutional investor world. Would they use decentralized exchanges? Does it make sense or whatever? And it looks like they're going to go through the OTC world. I know Coinbase and the likes are trying to develop a Coinbase, say, platform or channel to trade Bitcoin because they see such huge opportunity there. And what's happening in OTC world is that they're going straight to the miners. So as soon as a miner gets the new coin, they're not going through Binance, not going through all of these exchanges where CoinMarketCap captures that data. It's just straight from miner to institutional investor. So it means that like we're kind of missing that information. We don't know what's going on, and you're completely right. Like it makes it much harder to understand the real value then of Bitcoin because so many traders out there depend on technical analysis. It's like, oh, look at the volume. The volume is high. It's gone. It's up. It's down. But all they're really analyzing, to be honest, which is retail behavior, retail investor behavior, which is what Bitcoin's been so dependent on in the past. It's not until you start to see more advanced platforms come out, be it through Coinbase or whoever, that and once the information is public, just like the way when we look at a share or a stock on Nasdaq or NYSE, we can see the actual volume being traded by both retail and institutional investors. But coin market cap, I think it only really shows retail and institutional investors. We've no idea what's going on. Again, that makes Bitcoin a lot more speculative. But if things do turn around, if Bitcoin were to say jump up to 7,000, uh, I or 8,000 in the next few weeks, things could get very serious very very quick,
Hmm.
and I can see people go crazy by the end of the year.
If we keep on predicting high Bitcoin prices forever, eventually we'll be right. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
we just have to hold out long enough.
yeah. Good point. Good
This
point.
brings me back to just this idea of the true price of Bitcoin. Like how would one calculate that? Because if we are indeed moving towards sort of a two world Bitcoin cryptoverse, right, with retail investors buying through Coinbase in one world and whole mountains of other information of people buying virgin Bitcoins at a premium OTC in another world, then essentially you have an inefficient market. And most of our economic theory and technical analysis and thoughts about how markets work break apart when you don't have an efficient market, when you have unequal access to information, um, things like that. Like arbitrage suddenly becomes a thing again if you have an inefficient market. And it's all about who has more information than someone else. And I think for any investor, it does make it a little more dangerous. Now, probably not as risky as it was last year when everyone was going nuts and you had thousands of different exchanges and no one knew which end was up. But it still does change things when you've got sort of two markets going on, one for the big guys that you don't hear about or don't have access to, and one for the retail investors that everybody has access to.
I feel that a world will have to develop where you have potential institutions like Coinbase that do both retail and institutional investors, and their information becomes public. Until that happens, you're right. There's going to be a lot of people making lots of money in arbitrage because they have more information than everyone else, and it's going to seem unfair. But then this is the wild, wild west. People want it not to be regulated. They want it to be like this. And so we may have to put up with it until these platforms develop and the data becomes merged and it's all public. So yeah, it's going to be a problem for sure. Now, in terms of understanding value in Bitcoin, I think one of the best explanations I saw was that, again, this comes from Tom Lee, saying that the cost to mine is an important indicator for value, because at the end of the day, you want Bitcoin to be profitable if you're mining it, or why else waste all of that energy. And he says traditionally, just going back historically, Bitcoin is traded 2.5 times mining cost. Mining cost is approximately $6,000. So that would suggest that the price of Bitcoin today should be $20,000. But so I find it's good to have these ideas emerge, for people if they wanted to invest. But as you say, am I getting the best value when I go to buy today because there's so much hidden information? I don't know. I think maybe that's why people are still standing on the sidelines. I often meet people enthusiastic about blockchain and crypto and Bitcoin, but they still don't trust the systems out there for them to buy crypto, and that's why they're waiting.
Well, first of all, 2.5 times 6,000 is 15,000. But anyway,
geez, sorry. Oh my God! You just I just.
This is why we don't trust the systems here.
Damn, I'm actually really good at math. I can't believe I made that mistake. Yeah, I'll have to edit that out. Okay.
No. That's on the blockchain now. That's engraved forever. It's immutable.
Yeah, the internet does not forget. Okay, good to know.
It does make sense that individuals don't go on technical analysis. They go on hype. They go on feeling. They go on, does this feel like I'm going to make money? Some people might have spreadsheets, but the majority of investors are talking to their friend who's got a spreadsheet, right? And the spreadsheet breaks down when you have an inefficient market. And so, yeah, I can see why people are sort of hesitant and holding off, but all that serves to do is exactly what you've been saying, which is keep the market sort of holding steady until something comes along and boom, it either goes up to the moon, off to the races, or down through the floor. But no matter what the movement, it'll probably happen quickly. Not a financial analyst.
Yeah, I totally, yeah. Yeah, I like how you just dropped that disclaimer, but it's gonna be interesting. Now the thing is, we're all optimists naturally as humans, so it's easy to want to see Bitcoin go up and other cryptos. I guess we're all vested in it in various ways, but I think it's more of a high probable thing. Is how I feel. Now, if it does somehow drop, like plummet, wow, I don't know. It's so hard to know how this could really hit crypto world in general. But I think so many people are so sure that it's going to increase from here on in that I'm quite confident that it will. And the investments that we see everywhere suggest that the only way is up. Over the next year anyway. A recession, a financial crisis that hits the world can always put the brakes in any sort of development of any technology. But, one would think that over the next few months, for sure, there's some positive movement coming.
Well, I mean, I'm hopeful. A lot of people are hopeful. And that's why I purchased lambomoon.io, the best best URL for a hopeful market.
Yeah, well, best luck with that. I'm sure you'll sell that URL for a couple of million in a few years.
Are you kidding? I'm putting up my rap song on that.
Oh, really? Oh, bring it. Can't wait.
Oh, yeah, man. All right. Until next time, this has been Nathan, I am not a financial analyst, Williams, and Neil, not a financial expert, Kieran's, signing off.